There are four big undercurrents to AI literacy that we'll touch on a lot in these modules. And those are all because Gen AI is impacting our information spheres, our critical thinking abilities, academic integrity, as well as the environment. So keep in mind, these will all be undercurrents throughout this entire learning experience. One is the idea of misinformation. That beyond those unintentional errors that happen in the output, Gen AI has lowered the technical barrier for creating convincing, large scale, inexpensive fake content. That's a real cat. This includes persuasive news articles, synthetic images, deepfake audio, and automated social media bots. This means you will see a lot more fake news articles that were AI generated because they can do it quickly and it gets more clicks. That it's harder to evaluate the credibility of a lot of online sources because of this. And that you might get a deep fake message pretending to be your grandma asking for money, and then it turns into this whole suspicious process. Another key consideration is the idea of cognitive offloading and how generative AI is impacting your critical thinking. That technology tools can support your human thought. Think about calculators and arithmetic. It's making your life easier. Gen AI has a lot of capabilities to create content, to help synthesize information. But if you rely on it too much or over rely on it for key learning tasks, that is going to hinder your development of your academic skills. And it's going to make you likely going to make you underprepared for advanced coursework as well as professional roles after the university. Another key consideration is the idea of intellectual property, copyright, and data privacy. And this is what happens in the training data as well as what happens with your prompts and the output. Commercial Gen AI models will use your prompts and whatever you upload to further train its data set, as well as those outputs. So nothing is really kept private, and it's used to continuously train that data to create those better outputs. Our university tools don't do that, but you still shouldn't upload certain types of information to these systems. This includes copyrighted information, any information that you don't own, personal information about yourself or others, and secrets. Another key consideration is academic integrity and how Gen AI is impacting that. We know that Gen AI use policies and guidelines vary greatly among instructors, departments, colleges, and campuses. What's important for you to know is there shouldn't be a stigma in asking your instructor about what's appropriate AI use in the classroom, or even saying, hey, I don't want to use AI for this. What are my other options? Heavy workloads can make it really tempting to offload tasks to generative AI. But if it's for a learning task, talk to your instructor first about what's appropriate. The last consideration I want you to think about when you think about using generative AI are those environmental considerations. The global infrastructure powering generative AI requires a significant amount of energy, water, and can impact our air quality. The training and running these models require considerably more electricity than other types of technology tools. It can drive up carbon emissions when they rely on fossil fuels. Talk about these considerations so that you can have those in the back of your mind as you learn more about how to become an ethical and responsible user of generative